Shalom. This is Kabash Ben Yasharala. And before I hop into today's lesson, I want to give all honor, glory, and praises to the Most High in the name of His Son, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, in the true pillar Hebrew tongue. Ka, Halayim, La, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Ha, Rakah, Kodash, Ma'amaf. I want to give double honor to the apostles and elders of GMS who rule well and teach well. I want to give double honor to my elder as well, Aaron Wan Ben Yasharala of the Lions Den Camp here in Jacksonville, Florida. And I want to say shalom to the Akim around the four corners of the globe, pushing the truth and sincerity. And with that being said, this is going to be a quick lesson going into the topic of the gospel that we preach and the warning that we give to the people. And it's coming out of Jeremiah 28:8, so I'm going to go ahead and get straight into it. The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms, of wars and of evil and of pestilence. So these are the things that the Lord told the prophets to go speak on in the times of old. And we're following in their footsteps. So these are the things that we're to speak on today. Giving our people warning of things to come. The judgments and plagues that Yahweh Bashim Shai is about to bring upon this place. And ultimately, the judgment that this world has in store. The judgment of fire. Salakia. But the prophets of this world aren't preaching of these things. They're preaching feel-good doctrine and smooth and telling the people the smooth and sweet things that won't come to pass. You know, they're hirelings. They're not true shepherds. They don't really care for the sheep, or they might care sincerely, but not according to truth. But regardless of the matter, they're leading the people astray because their gospel isn't of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, the Father in the name of His Son, the Most High in the name of His Son. Their doctrines are according to the commandments of man and this world. So they're not getting a warning from the Most High, the Most High power. And so they're not preparing themselves for that day. But us, we have the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of Scripture because that was given to us by Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. He ordained us to be prophets in the womb. And that's another thing. You have to be ordained by the Lord to be able to preach His gospel. There's people out here preaching the gospel that were ordained according to this world, according to a 503c charter, or just an appointment of this world in general. But we've been appointed by Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai to speak His words. And He gave us the wisdom, knowledge, understanding to be able to do so. So the Scripture tells us to measure the times diligently. Let's get it. Sirach. Yeah, it's a little impromptu lesson. So we're just going to do a little jumping around. I didn't write any scripture down. We're just going with the flow. But Sirach, no, that's second Ezra. Salakia. Here we go. Second Ezra 9:1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it was the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which He made. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. For like as all that is made in the world hath beginning and end, and the end is manifest. So, again, we're to measure the time diligently. The Lord told us, He gave us the signs and all these things to watch out for, giving us warning of His return. And we go and prophesy of these things as they play out. Because now we're seeing, we done went from wars, like rumors of wars, now countries are actually at war. You got Israel, Iran now. You got Ukraine and Russia been fighting. You got China still talking about Taiwan. That's going to eventually become a hot war. But all these things going on across the world, man, that's the Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai gathering the nations. And we see these earthquakes in diverse places. We had an earthquake in Florida about a year or two ago. That's not supposed to happen. It's just all sorts of, pestilences back in the 2020. And you see the Lord changing the weather here, man. The seasons are changing, man. It's about to be daytime. The time for darkness to rule upon the earth is coming to an end. Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai about to shine His light of righteousness on this place. And who shall be able to stand in that day? Only those taking heed to the warning of Yahweh Shem Shai being spoken by the prophets. Because he's about to visit the world which he made. The same way he did with Noah. I'll say, Abraham and Lot, when Lot was in the cities of the plain, and the Lord came down to give Sodom and Gomorrah his judgment. But he's not gonna let the righteous partake in that his wrath and indignation. He's gonna have grace and mercy on them, the same way he did Lot. And that's why we're out on the highways and byways giving our people warning to pull them out of this world and into the light and the righteousness of Yahweh Shem Shai. Because ultimately we're pulling him into his grace and mercy. Because these are the things that the Lord warned us of from the beginning. And it's going to be made manifest in the end who the righteous and wicked were. Matthew 24 and 6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For a nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines, and pestilences, and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginnings of sorrows. So, again, with the wars and rumors of war, we're seeing these nations rise up against each other. And all these things must come to pass. Everything that we're prophesying, God, that the Lord spoke on, Salakia, they are going to come to pass. They have to. The Lord's word not going to return unto him void. But we're to understand that in order for wickedness to be expunged from this place, the Lord has to judge this place. So he's going to send these plagues, these famines and pestilences and all these things. A dollar crash, martial law, all these things, chaos among the people. And all these are just the beginning of sorrows. But all these things must come to pass. But we're to trust in Yahweh Shem Shai that he'll keep us through those times. Because he's not going to judge the righteous with the wicked. Like with Abraham and Lot in Sodom and Gomorrah. I'll say Lot with Sodom and Gomorrah because Abraham wasn't there. But Abraham played with the Lord on Lot's behalf. The same way we hope that Yahweh Shai pleads on our behalf in these times. We will be covered, and that's why we put on his covering. We follow the path that Yahweh Shai paid for us, because Yahweh ordained him to come down here and do that for us. And that's why, again, going back to the first precept, the prophets of old prophesied of this, that, and the third. Yahweh Shai gave us a path to walk. We're to walk that, following in his footsteps. And that's just the end all be all. But I pretty much feel like I got my point across. So like I said, this was just a little impromptu lesson. So y'all rock this out. This lesson was edifying. And until the next time, I'm gonna say shalom.